everyone, it is Dani'i and welcome to this update video. I hope that you have been doing great. And so we're going to be taking a look at what is going on across the Caribbean with all that increase in moisture that will eventually dissipate as the week goes on across Central America. But that is not the end of the story, as there could be yet another system that may potentially try to develop as we head into next week. So we'll be taking a look at that and the latest that models have to show. Para aquellos que nos sintonizan desde Centroamérica, primero que nada, gracias por acompañarme esta tarde. Estaré informado en español más adelante en este video sobre el evento de fuertes lluvias y otro que podría estar en camino para la próxima semana. And so now let's go ahead and take a look at the satellite imagery. Here we can see that across the North Atlantic, there's a lot going on with these fronts moving out, a couple of troughs out there as well. And the intertropical convergence zone is also quite active out there in the main development region. We're seeing all that convection, and across portions of Northern South America, that daytime heating has been aiding in the development of lots of showers and thunderstorms, even across portions of Central America as well, coupled with that system which is already producing a lot of heavy rain, and that has resulted in so much flooding across some areas. This video was posted to X or Twitter if you still use it as that. Here we can see just how widespread the flooding has been across parts of Honduras from an aerial view, and many other areas as well in other countries such as Belize have endured that flooding, and unfortunately, coupled with loss of property and various possessions, fatalities have been recorded as a result of all of this heavy rain which has been affecting the area for days. Because first there was that front, and ahead of that frontal boundary there was all that activity that has resulted in a lot of rainfall across many of the northern Central American countries, and then 97L moved in with the trough associated with it, and it has been inducing a lot of heavy rain since then. So we can still see here on the infrared sunlight that this widespread area of these showers and thunderstorms remain. Conditions have improved across some areas, which is some good news, but there will still be that chance for some additional rainfall, which may actually trigger some more flooding. La zona de baja presión sigue produciendo fuertes lluvias en las cercanías de Centroamérica, y en los últimos días la acumulación de fuertes lluvias ha provocado inundaciones en algunas zonas. Lo malo es que muchas personas han perdido sus pertenencias. En Honduras han habido 4 muertes y 2 personas están desaparecidas. El evento de lluvia aún no ha terminado, ya que el sistema permanece en el área y aún puede haber inundaciones en partes de Honduras, Nicaragua y la península de Yucatán, así como en las islas costeras. A medida que las condiciones mejoren a lo largo de la semana, hay indicios de otro gran aumento en la humedad y es posible que se desarrolle un ciclón tropical la próxima semana. De todos modos, podría haber muchas lluvias intensas e incluso más inundaciones en muchas de las áreas actualmente afectadas. Alright guys, and now as we take a look across other areas, there hasn't been much going on today for the Cayman Islands, Cuba, parts of the Bahamas. Maybe there has been some rainfall across some areas. For the Turks and Caicos Islands, though, there hasn't been much. For portions of Jamaica this evening, especially here over in western parishes, a bit of thunderstorm activity. Nothing too crazy though. For the majority of the island, it has been a rather hot and sunny day. Similar story as we head over into most of Hispaniola, parts of Puerto Rico with the Virgin Islands, through to the Lesser Antilles. But there has been some shower and thunderstorm activity across some areas as that moisture remains. For the ABC Islands, maybe some overcast weather, occasional showers or so. You can let me know what's been going on there. And as I said earlier, there is some activity popping up across portions of Central America. Now, as it relates to the formation of another system, firstly, I want to take you guys to the sea surface temperature map. So it is still very warm out there. Areas such as the Gulf and the Atlantic on a whole is slowly going into that cooler phase. Still very warm across the tropics. I mean, the tropics are warm all year round, but we're seeing these shades of yellows, oranges, and these reds, and even the pink shade across some areas. Very warm waters to actually support development. So the season is not yet over, and there is a shot that we could see something else try to form coupled with the fact that these temperatures are not only just warm, but they're above average this year, which is depicted on this sea surface temperature anomaly chart. So the blue areas indicate below average temperatures. Meanwhile, those orange and red areas indicate above average temperatures. And the stronger the color is, the cooler or warmer temperatures are than normal. White areas represent what is normal. So across much of the Caribbean, we can see that there are still those shades of those very pale yellow and orange shadings. So very warm water still across the area to actually support development. And models have been hinting that, hey, we'll actually see something try to form next week, but that will all be dependent on other conditions. And so let's go ahead and take a look at what models have to show in the latest update for each. This is the GFS. We're starting with GFS, and this is as we head out to a week from now, Sunday on the 12th of November. We're seeing that big increase in moisture across the southwest or the West Caribbean on a whole. And then as we head into Tuesday the 14th, we take a look at it and we see that low pressure area, which is just offshore of Honduras. So we can see here that this next area of this increase in moisture or even potential development is going to be making its way into the area which is currently experiencing a lot of flooding from the system. I mean, conditions will improve as the week goes on, but that soil will still be very saturated. But thankfully, this is not an immediate event to say that, okay, this is going to be happening later this week, going on to Thursday, Friday. No, conditions will gradually improve, but there will be a break and then that next area of all that activity. Eventually, though, a front is going to be making its way out, and GFS is not expecting development. One, we see that the low pressure area would be very close in proximity to land. That needs to be over those warm waters with all that concentrated energy in order to try to really develop. So if it is shifting in and out of land, we won't see much formation. Nonetheless, that rainfall is going to be an issue. And with any system, even if it does not develop into a tropical cyclone, the rainfall is always the problem. Next, we have the Euro model here on the 12Z run. We're actually seeing some greater confidence in that moisture increase. So there we go out to Sunday the 12th. We see that increase happening across the Western Caribbean. And then going on to Wednesday the 15th, the middle of next week, there we can see even some of those shades of yellows and oranges in the midst of all that green, which is representative of the precipitation rate, the average precipitation rate. So we're seeing quite a bit of moisture increase across the Western Caribbean here that the Euro model is forecasting. Going out to the end of the 12Z icon run, which goes out to Monday of next week, the 13th, we can see that moisture increase across the Western Caribbean, going over into Central America as well. So there we go. Models are definitely showing that increase in moisture, but with these fronts coming out as well, there is increased shear as well as dry air, and those are inhibiting factors coupled with land interaction. But it has a good and bad side to it, which is the land interaction. It has a good and bad side to it because with land interaction, we don't see much development. However, there is still a lot of moisture. There's just not something organized. So there's still all that heavy rain, and those bursts of convection could actually allow for tropical storm-like conditions with even an hour or two of just a lot of heavy rain, those strong winds, thunderstorms that can be unleashed across some isolated areas. So we'll definitely have to be looking out for this next area. As I've been saying, regardless of development, we're going to likely see a lot more flooding being induced across portions of Central America. So if you're to be affected by this, the timing would be as we head into the early and middle part of next week. So we'll have to keep our eyes out, and please stay safe as best as you can, even with the current event, which is still ongoing, as all that moisture still remains in the area. So we'll keep you guys posted as per usual. But that is it for now, and I hope you found this video to be quite informative. However, if you have any questions, please do leave them in the comments. I'll respond to you once I get a chance to do so, and remember to always be weatherwise.